We're here at Innovate Australia Summit, and it's on rare earths and the big potential ahead. And I'm going to be speaking to some of the speakers as well as the panel today to find out what the opportunity is for Western Australia and how we can take and seize that opportunity and make something out of it. I'm here with Kristen Berger. Kristen, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Bess.
Excellent. And Kristen, tell me a little bit about what's your title and your involvement today?
I'm the Deputy Director General in the Department of Mines, Industry Regulation and Safety. But the reason I'm here today is because I'm working with Minister Bill Johnson on the government's ministerial task force to develop a lithium and energy materials strategy. So rare earths definitely fall within that parameter.
Excellent. Very, very relevant for an innovation summit about rare earths. What was your presentation about today?
Well, basically I was talking about the government's development of this strategy and how we're consulting with industry and seeking to work together with industry to develop the strategy to really promote WA that has such fantastic minerals, technology, labour, and to diversify the economy.
We have so much potential and so much opportunity here in WA in the lithium space and obviously in the resources space. What do you see the government's role is to help promote and to make us on the top of the board around the world with what we're doing in resources?
I think the government's role is, as you said, to promote and to facilitate. And I think that the rest of the world and even other parts of Australia don't really know what we have here in WA, and that's very much something that we want to change.
Sure. And are you seeing an active role from the government to promote that?
Definitely. We're seeing an active role, and that's going to be part of our strategy, very much a promotional focus to make other countries, companies and the West Australian public as well aware of the fantastic things that we have here.
Look, it was really interesting. I mean, it's great that so many people came along that are interested in rare earths. So it's always tough to get a crowd. So I'm very happy from that perspective.
Good turnout. And can you tell us a little bit about your presentation?
Yeah, look, so Browns Range, we just had the official opening on the 27th of July. Alana McTiernan came up and opened the pilot plant at Browns Range in the Kimberley. So we're now just going through the commissioning phase of it. So the beneficiation plant, which is stage 1, is working well. Just moving into the hydromet plant at the moment.
Excellent. And today's summit is about raising awareness for people to understand about rare earths. What's one of the points you'd like to raise for our audience?
Oh, look, it's just a very difficult sector. Elon Musk has done a fantastic job in educating the world on lithium, if you like, and I say that tongue-in-cheek because so many people still don't understand lithium because it's quite a complex supply chain. Rare earths having 17 elements has just been one that people run away from, feeling it's so scientific. So it's about bringing it down, simplifying it. It's all about permanent magnets. It's all about the new permanent magnet motor drives into the EVs. We have had support in the financial markets from the US in terms of our debt factoring facilities and the like. So the US has come to play, but a lot more work has to be done. And again, we'll be going to probably Germany in a couple of weeks, but the US and saying, you better hurry up because the Chinese will buy all this. And we're not a charity. I don't work for World Vision or any of those organisations, UNICEF. I work for Northern Minerals. I'm going to return value to shareholders. Now,
lithium is one of the small components, as I understand, in the lithium batteries. What about the other components?
Oh, look, I mean, you know, the fortunate thing we have in WA is we've got most of the periodic table here. So we've got a great opportunity to really leverage off the periodic table, mine it and go downstream. So, you know, WA is in a great position going forward.
The reason that I'm here is to explain to people that China's policy of 2025 made in China, what they're doing, they're gradually moving more and more value-add manufacturing into China, which means that those jobs are no longer available in the rest of the world. And that's largely based upon rare earths. So what we have to do is to develop a parallel supply chain. But it's not that easy because there's some fairly complex steps there, and you might want to refer to my overhead. So what we have to do is to have a joint venture with a single country. My own experience is if you try and involve too many countries, it doesn't work. So we need to work with a single country, and Australia needs to work with Korea, Germany, the US, France, whoever, and develop a supply chain. For China and rare earths, it's a little bit like France and wine. France will sell you a bottle of wine, but they won't sell you the grapes to make your own wine. China would rather sell you a hybrid vehicle rather than sell you rare earths. And 2 years ago, I was in China in Baotao, and I was visiting a company called Northern Rare Earths, the largest company, and they're increasing their capacity to produce separated neodymium, praseodymium oxide and metals by a factor of 4. And I said, well, if you do that, all the other companies around here that rely upon you as a supplier of rare earths, you're going to be consuming it yourselves. And he said, yes. And I said, well, last year you announced you were buying a magnet company, so obviously you intend to go downstream and buy magnets. He said, yes. And I said, well, I'm not actually spying on you, but last month you announced you bought an electric motor company. So in other words, in a few years' time, if I come to you and want to buy rare earths to make my own electric motors, you're going to say, we don't have any rare earths, we'll sell you the electric motors. And that's the situation we face today. In the lithium, I think we may be a little bit behind the 8 ball. We've got lots of the major companies here, and there's the diversity that they're looking for. In rare earths, we've got a great opportunity. China is dominant, and the only company outside China that produces Linus, and that's only one company. What we need to do is diversity for sustainability. So there's room for other companies apart from Linus. I'm an independent consultant. I give advice globally, and I can tell you out of the top 5 projects, 3 of them are in Australia.
Excellent. Now, some people in that lithium and the rare earth space say that Australia, particularly Western Australia, is missing a lot of the opportunity, a big piece of the pie, by just sending the raw material. Perhaps we need to be doing some of the processing locally. What do you think about that?
We do. There is technology, and the step that many people aren't undertaking is the step going from mixed rare earth carbonate to the separated rare earths. Now, the problem is that China has twice global capacity, so they've got all the capital invested. Furthermore, it does require a lot of working capital. So my view is we fully understand that separation process, solvent extraction. It's been used in Australia for many years. So what we need to do is to get some commitment to government to assist that. Now, I'm not suggesting that they should fund it, but I think they could provide assistance in terms of financing working capital.
I'm a marketing and communications consultant. I work for myself. Prior to that, I was a CSIRO National Marketing Communications Manager for about 7 years, working at the Pawsey Supercomputing Centre in Kensington. So I've been part of the innovation sector for a long time. Before that, I worked at SciTech, managing Science Network WA. So I've met Peter before through my work at Pawsey. I know what a great job Innovation Australia does. And I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind helping out, just because it's something I'm very passionate about and would like to see this kind of event get as much support as it can.
That's wonderful. And what would you say to audience and people that are seeing this for the first time who've never been to an innovation summit?
Well, Innovate Australia's events are free, which is fantastic. They're put together by goodwill from people who support them, which makes it an amazing collaborative endeavour. The quality of the speakers is always great, and the topics are always things that are very relevant and important. So if you've got the free time, definitely make it down and see one.
I'm here today with Adam Oseiran. Adam is one of the co-founders of Innovate Australia. Adam, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Excellent. And Adam, what did you think of the Rare Earth Summit today?
It's actually a very interesting discussion that took place here, that we had put here around the table, a few people who really spoke together and came up with very interesting ideas and very interesting discussion, which is the goal of the summit.
There's great connections that happen here at these summits, and this is one of the things I love about the Innovate Australia summits.
Yes, exactly, and we make it available to everyone. So we had people from the general public, but we have also people from the businesses who came here to actually listen and then talk. And you've noticed also towards the end, there were very intensive, interesting discussion about, kind of a possibility, maybe a new business, new venture that will be generated out of this.
I like that it brings together the connection of private companies as well as the government bodies that sort of have the same initiatives and the same wavelengths coming together.
Look, innovation comes when people talk together, and especially when people are from like academia. We had 3 professors and also people from industry and government. So these are the 3 bodies that need always to talk together. And this is how, by talking together and building, this is where innovation is generated.